Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, I'm a day late and a dollar short here again at Urb'n Barz because our man REN dropped this cut on Thursday night, and for some reason, I missed it. So, guys, I'm playing catch up, and I don't mind playing catch up when it comes to REN because whenever you hear a REN track, it's great. So, this one is a little bit different, I think. Let me just read it. I had to read it because I can't remember what it's called. I've got memory of a sieve or memory of a goldfish, potentially. A goldfish that's in a sieve? Or is it a goldfish that's in a goldfish bowl? I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So this one is called Sick Boy Episode 1. And it's the Flame of Prometheus. Wow. I'm into my Greek mythology, people. So Prometheus, love Prometheus. So basically, Prometheus was a titan. And he stole fire from the gods up in heaven. And Zeus was not happy. So do you know what Zeus did? Zeus chained him to a rock. And do you know what he did? He sent an eagle down to feast on Prometheus's liver. And just like Groundhog Day, this happened again and again and again. So I'm just thinking about REN and this track here. Was it the flame from Prometheus? Is REN maybe liking himself akin to Prometheus? Because what Prometheus did was he gave something to the people and he made them more aware of things. Like people say it's like inventing the wheel and fire are the two most important things that ever happened to human beings. I don't know. But what I'm thinking about REN is with REN's disease and REN's illness with Lyme's disease. So I'm just thinking like Prometheus. So every day, if you think about it, so one day REN is on the mend and he's looking good and he's feeling really great about what's going on. And then the next day, it's almost like he's taken two steps back because there's been a lapse in his recovery from Lyme's disease. So I'm thinking it's almost like a bit like hell on earth or something like that. But I might be totally wrong. I always do a bit of word association. I'm a funny person like this. So I'm just wondering what this is because this is episode 1, Sick Boy. So I know there's new albums coming out, or it's come out, etc., etc. And I got that whole sign wrong because it wasn't a rabbit with the ears down, and I thought it was something else. But so we've got the return of Sick Boy. Sorry, I'm messing about here with my wires. I've got a whole new system here, so I'm just getting used to it. So please persevere with me, people. So yeah, I'm intrigued to find out what this track is all about. Anyway, guys, let's not mess around. This is Sick Boy. This is episode 1. So obviously there must be an episode 2, maybe an episode 3. I'm not sure. And this, people, is the flame of Prometheus. Wow.
Have you ever heard the story of Prometheus? Let me start somewhere near the end.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to wheel this back a little bit. So this scene, etc., it looks like it's sort of descending into hell again. But I remember REN's last couple of tracks were, what were they? Money Ties and Slaughterhouse. This reminds me, it could have well been filmed in the same location as Slaughterhouse was filmed. I might be totally wrong here. But with the camera angle going from the sort of city streets down, and it seemed like from the olden time sort of place down, it was almost like descending into hell. I don't know. Maybe I've got this all twisted, but it is what it is, people. So I'm just going to wheel it back a bit. And yeah, let's hear the story of Prometheus.
Let me start somewhere near the end. After the Great Collapse, the sick were rounded up like rabid stray dogs. Those who were strong enough were put to work in subterranean farms.
Was that 2084? So this is like a dystopian future, isn't it? So the sick were rounded up to work in farms. So is this the end of civilization? After the Great Collapse, the sick were rounded up like rabid stray dogs.
Stray dogs. Those who were strong enough were put to work in subterranean farms.
Wow.
First, they would be stripped of all dignity afforded
Is that REN?
to a human. Then, their bodies would be decontaminated and purged of the stench from the surface. In order to create an effective cog, you must first bleed out of all autonomy and free will. He or she must stop being human and become a limb.
I like that. So take away people's free will, stop them from becoming human and becoming a limb. So a limb is almost like a cog on a wheel, I think. So a limb is part of the human body, and it helps the body to do what it needs to do. And a cog on a wheel helps the wheel to turn. So if you take away that person's thought, they just become a part of the system, a part of the machine, but they don't become an independent part of the machine. They just become a part of the machine. So that's what I'm thinking. I might have got this totally twisted. So I don't know. Let's wheel it back.
Autonomy and free will. He or she must stop being human and become a limb. Those who were deemed too sick for work were discarded. To keep them alive would only further drain the earth of vital resources. It was a kindness to let them die. For years, this is how the program would run.
So it's like human beings are called, is it expendable vessels, something like that? Is it expendable vessels? Basically, was it, they call it as useful idiots, something like that. Something like that.
It was a kindness to let them die. For years, this is how the program would run. But, like many systems that came before it, it was at the mercy of chaos theory.
Chaos theory. Do you know what? This reminds me of that. Just now, it reminds me of the days in the early, 90s, maybe mid-90s, well, early 1992, 93, the rave scene. That just reminded me of the rave scene. I was mad on that rave scene.
It was at the mercy of chaos theory.
Here, rave.
Chaos theory is often misunderstood. It is an oxymoron, a determined element of chaos, one that...
I like that. Chaos theory is an oxymoron. So basically, people say, in actuality, there is actual order within chaos. So within order, there's actually chaos, but within chaos, there's order. So that's what some people say, but it is what it is.
Misunderstood. It is an oxymoron, a determined element of chaos, one that can send a whole system spiraling into mayhem.
That's a sick boy sign. Sick boy. Did he always have the 2 X's or just the one? I can't remember. Let me know in the comment section, people.
There was a prophecy. It told of a genetic anomaly, a human girl whose DNA harbored immunity to the virus, a blueprint for the future.
So now that always reminds me like the T-cell virus. Who was that girl who did all those films? I can never remember what that film's called. But do you know with the T-cell? If you know, let me know in the comment section. Great films.
A human girl whose DNA harbored immunity to the virus, a blueprint for the future. For decades, the humans searched, setting up a global infrastructure of testing facilities in vain. With time...
Oh, so that's what they're doing. They're either basically branding them on the neck, isn't it? I think they're getting branded.
The candle of hope burnt down to a blackened wick. Whispers of the prophecy could still be caught traveling on the wind between members of the sick. Rivaling factions saw it as nothing but a dying superstition. Others clung to it like an amulet of hope. The rich and the elite, of course, used it as a method of control. Desperation is a powerful...
Is it me, or are we noticing how this girl is doing the voiceover here on the Flame of Prometheus, but the music's changing, so the musicscape, the scape of the music and the soundscape of this track is changing. I heard house, I heard hip-hop, I heard rave music, then there's a bit of almost like the classical going on here as well, or maybe I've just got it twisted. Let me know in the comment section, people.
Desperation is a powerful drug. Above fear, above loyalty to the party, the Dominion understood this and used it to their advantage.
That was like the cover of Slaughterhouse, wasn't it? REN.
If you strip man of his basic needs, with enough time, he becomes a beast. Without shame and without morality.
If you strip man of his basic needs, within time he'll become a beast without shame or morality. Things like, was that book Lord of the Flies? Just sort of shows that if you take away structure from society, you just get, well, just a whole load of, I don't know.
Primal. How ironic that the creations and brilliance of man should reduce him to his primal state. I guess with time, everything returns to source. While it was still part of protocol to test every subject for immunity to the virus, the outcome was predictable. There was no suspense. Any hope that testing would bear fruit died years ago. That
Reminds me a bit of the story like with Jesus Christ, etc. So when Herod sent all the people, well, he was compelled to, really, wasn't it, to actually look for someone who was born in Bethlehem in Galilee, etc. They sent all the people looking for someone, to find that person from the virgin birth. And so it's just the same kind of story with the T cells. I just can't remember that film. Was it Milana Jovanovic, whatever? I can't remember the girl who starred in it, but that's all I can think of, guys.
is until we introduce chaos theory.
Wow. Sickboy.com. Wow. I was not expecting that. I was expecting a new song from REN, not a kind of a film. But as I said before, I'm probably guessing that REN produced that whole film. He wrote the script and everything else, blah, blah, blah. And that was really, really interesting. I'm sorry I cut it to it so many times because there's so many thoughts going off in my head there. But it was really interesting. So I think it said, was it 2084? So something happened in 2084 where the world stopped being the world as we know it. And to be honest with you, they're looking for signs of a virus, or was it people being immune to a virus? So does something huge happen in a few years' time, 50 years or from now, where the world changes? We're talking about chaos theory, this, that, and everything else. And we're talking also about human beings going back to their base instincts. So humanity changes. So this is quite deep. We're not talking surface level theory here. We're not talking surface level thoughts here. We're talking deep. We're talking a massive, massive shift in the psyche and basically the outlook and the future of the human race, if REN is to be believed here. So what was this called? Prometheus. So Prometheus, obviously, yes, we know he stole the fire from the gods. But also, I think Prometheus was meant to be a forward thinker, and Prometheus was here to give humanity a step forward in technology and other areas. So are we thinking about a whole new sea change here in thinking and doing? I don't know. And I also seem to remember there was, what was that? Prometheus, wasn't that to do with, oh my goodness, what was that film? It's gone clean out of my head. Remember, I told you I got the memory of a goldfish. But wasn't there Prometheus and his progeny, etc., on that one with, what's it called? Is it the girl that did Gorillas in the Mist? I can't remember. So my mind has gone. But there was a whole film back 10 years ago with Prometheus again. So something's going on. So if you know, let me know down here in the comment section. Sorry, my mind's gone blank, totally blank on that. So I do apologise. Alien, that was it. Prometheus, Alien, and all that kind of stuff as well. So there's a lot to dig into, lots to think about. But on looking at that, that was fantastic, and I really want to see more. I just really would like to see in that 10-minute sort of piece. That was a 4.5 minute piece, and that was really, really interesting. So there's going to be episode two. So I'm not too sure what's going to drop in that second episode, etc. But for a starting point, that was really interesting. Hopefully, get people to think about a lot of things going on there. There are a lot of things that Ren was sort of alluding to as well that went on from our past. So he's looking at our past, touching on the present, but then really delving into the future. So what does the future hold for the human race? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were having a song from Ren, but that was as good as it gets. I really enjoyed that. I like all these kind of things, so I loved it. Anyway, guys, let me know down here in the comment section. But again, I hope that Ren is feeling a lot better. I know that he has, and he's looking to do a lot of projects. And I know that some of them are on hold because he's not too well at the minute. So hopefully he gets himself well as soon as possible and he gets back on that bike and he delivers what he has been intending to deliver for a while. But guys, whatever the weather, make certain you look after yourselves, you look after each other, and make certain, guys, you come back to the next Urb'n Barz reaction, guys. I'm out.